So everyone, thank you for joining me today. Hopefully that you learned something new, and hopefully you'll try this recipe. And again, if you could, please subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any other videos. This is a part 1 of part 2 series, so it is to be continued, because I'm going to be showing you in the next video other ways that you can preserve your freshly picked strawberries. So stay tuned, hit that notification bell so that you know when that video comes up as well. And as we always say around here, God bless you, we love you, and share, share, share. Thank you. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to be doing all types of things strawberry. We went to the strawberry patch this morning and had a wonderful time. Got all kinds of delicious berries. I'll show you here. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? So we have this bag here. And this bag here. All kinds of beautiful ripe strawberries. Carmen had a great time. Carmen's favorite fruit is strawberries and bananas. So we went strawberry picking. This was her first time and she really enjoyed it. What I'm going to do to start off is I'm going to take these and wash them really good and get all the greens off and put them in my container. Well, first thing that we're going to do with the strawberries is make strawberry jam. Oh, been waiting for this all year. My husband has too. So for this recipe, you're going to need 8 cups of fresh strawberries. That way when you mash them down, they'll go to the 5-cup mark. So I'm going to go ahead and wash these up, and we'll continue on from there. So we have approximately 8 cups of strawberries. At this point, you're going to take your smasher. I'm going to use a potato smasher because that's what I have, but you can use any kind of smasher. And you're just going to start breaking down the strawberries. All that juiciness. And that way you can always add more to make your 5 cups worth. So we're going to make the strawberry jam today. I'm probably only going to make 1 batch today, but I'm going to freeze the other ones and make those at another day. And then we're going to be dehydrating some because they make wonderful dehydrated snacks. And we're going to be freezing some in the freezer. We'll be using our food saver to do that so that we can keep them tasting fresh. I'm going to continue smashing this down, see where we are, and we'll go from there. Alright, so that made a little more than 5 cups. It actually made 5.5, so I went ahead and took this out. I can save that as a preserve for maybe some ice cream later or something. But we're going to take this 5 cups of the crushed strawberries, and we're going to add it to our heavy-duty bottom pot. Now, some people like to use emulsion blenders and things like that, and that's fine. I just tend to do it by hand because I like to have a little bit of chunks in there. Plus, it's going to break down some more as you're cooking it. So there we have the 5 cups of strawberries in there. And I should have went ahead and just got my wooden spoon out. I will do that now because I want to use a wooden spoon when I'm making this jam. The next thing that you're going to want is, I got this called Can Gel. It's a fruit pectin. The size is 1.75, and that is exactly what this recipe calls for. So we're going to go ahead and put that in. Just kind of sprinkle it all around. And on the back of here too also tells you a little bit about the helpful hints. And inside the box, actually, being careful opening it here, hold on. There is instructions for jams and jellies, from tart cherry to peach to blackberry, strawberry, raspberry, all that good stuff. So if you've never made jam before or jellies and you want to try it, of course you can follow my videos and learn how to do that, but you can also use this as a backup. Alright, now the next step, we add 1 packet of the pectins and 5 cups of strawberry, ½ teaspoon of butter. Why butter? Well, that is going to help you keep the foam down, because any foam that is left from boiling this, you'll want to scrape off. So we're going to move on over to the stove here, and I currently have it on a medium heat. And I have my lids down here boiling. And I have my jars in here processing for sterilizing. Because we're going to be canning 9 8-ounce jelly jars today with this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to bring this to a boil. And using my wooden spoon, I'm just going to stir it. Get all that pectin in there. And get that butter melted. And once it comes to a rolling boil, we will then be adding the sugar. And you want to stir this constantly. Until that butter melts. And the pectin dissolves completely. So it's starting to come to a boil, and you can see there's a little bit of things to come off of the top here. I'm just using a metal spoon to get some of that off as it comes to a boil. The butter does help, because it would be a lot more than that. Tell you what, it is smelling delicious in here. It's nothing like the smell of fresh strawberries to tell you that it is almost summertime. Alright. Not quite a boil yet. So we're going to continue cooking this until we get a nice gentle boil. Alright, so we are now at a gentle boil that I can't stir down. And we're going to be adding the sugar next. Make sure that there we go, yes, nice and a soft boil. Does not have to be a hard rolling boil. As you can see, there's still some skimming that I need to do. You just gently go along the top and get that off. And it's not going to all come off, and that's okay. Just try to get a majority of it. for canning purposes. And it'll help your jams and jellies look beautiful. So now that that is at a rolling, or a gentle rolling boil, I should say, we have 7 cups of granulated sugar. We're going to pour it all in at once. I'm going to set you down for just a minute. Sorry about that, we had some sugar that wanted to stay in there. And then you're just going to quickly get this all together and mixed up. Making sure that you're stirring constantly to get that sugar to break up and not stick to the bottom. Alright. I'm going to continue stirring until I bring it back up to a full rolling boil. And then we're going to boil for 1 full minute. So it has been boiling at a full rolling boil for 1 minute. Now I'm going to let this sit for 1 minute, and I'm going to grab one of our larger spoons here. You want a metal spoon because it adheres better to get more of that foam off. As you can see, there's quite a bit of foam around the edges. So we're just going to skim it and discard it. And like I said, you don't have to get all of it out. Just do the best you can. I definitely don't want to lose any of my strawberries in that process. And that was wanting to adhere to it, that's for sure. Alright. And I think that's going to be good enough. I'm going to take it off of here and move it over to the counter. So we have moved you over to the counter. And take this lid off of here. And use my gloves, which I don't know where I laid down. Oh, there they are. Use my little glove here. And pull these jars up. Ooh-wee, those are definitely hot. So at this time, you're also going to need a little bowl for your white vinegar. There we go, that's probably better. Any old white vinegar will do. But you're going to want to wipe the rims off of these when you get done putting the strawberry jam in there. So what I normally do is I get 2 out at a time. Be very careful with that water. It is extremely hot. And you're going to take your ladle. And you go ahead and stir this up just a little bit more. You're going to take your ladle and hold on to your jar. And pour in your jam. And you're going to pour it to the 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to be using this here, so it helps me measure. So you're going to pour it to the 1 inch mark, or 1/4 inch mark. Sorry about that. Alright. Then that way you can transfer this to the next jar. Now I'm going to move this out of the way so it's not in your way. And then at this point you're going to take a nice clean towel, dish rag, and you're going to dip it in the vinegar and wipe the rims of your jars nice and clean so that you can get a good seal. Then I'm going to use my little handy dandy magnet here and get my lids that have been sterilized and put it on top. Grab my sterilized ring and fingertip tight. Look at that. It's beautiful, y'all. Put that back in the water. Get another jar. Now I put that one in the middle so it'll keep the other jars stabilized. And then you're going to continue putting your jam into your jars up to 1/4 inch, which is also this part of your jar. That was a hot jar. I should have picked that up with my hand. But we'll be alright. And we're just going to continue doing this. Bring it up to that 1/4 inch. Head space is very important. Make sure that you're doing what you need to keep your jars safe. Move this out of the way. I'm going to take that clean rag again, dip it in the vinegar, and wipe all around the rims. This is really sticky, so we want to make sure that our rims are able to get good seals. I'm going to continue doing this and filling up the jars, and then I'll show you the next steps. What I did was I went ahead and I have 3, 6, 8 of them in the water bath. I kept one out because that's going to be our refrigerator one, and I don't need to process that. So we're going to go ahead and lower this down. I'm going to sit you down here for safety purpose. Sorry that the pot is blocking you, but we're going to gently lower it down. And you want your water to be at least 1 inch above the jars. This is about 2 inches, and that's fine. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and cover it with the lid. Turn the heat up to about 7 or medium high. We're going to go ahead and let that come up to a rolling boil, and then we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. Well, we all know what that sound is. It has been 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and reach over very carefully and turn this off. And we're going to remove this only about that much just to let it vent. And we'll let that vent for 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set the timer for 5 minutes, and then we'll continue with the process. So we have vented it for 5 minutes, and then we open the lid for another 5 minutes, and you can see it's really hot. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the jars and set them on the counter where they can sit. Oh, I'm hearing them pop already. They can sit for 24 hours to set up. Now remember, sometimes jellies, when they sit on the counter, can take 24 hours. It could take up to 2 weeks. If you do notice that your jellies have not set to your liking, there are ways to reprocess them, or you can just put them in the refrigerator and use them up. I'm going to go ahead and continue removing these and putting them on my safe spot on my counter, and I will bring you back to show you how they look. There you have it. Look how beautiful those are. You really see the colors. A couple of them has already pinged, which tells me that they are good and sealed.